Well, 9 races at the Creek on Saturday night. It's a very good program. 2 features. The Rising Star Championship over the 21:38 will be the feature. That's race number 6. But the main supporting event is the Remembering Henry Luca. It's also over the 21:38. And I remember Henry Luca very well. Still have very vivid memories of calling him winning his Queensland Derby for Kevin Thomas all those years ago. Coming up, we're going to have a look at the program. We'll be talking to Hayden Barnes, to Ricky Gordon and to John Kremen about their chances at Albion Park on Saturday night. Hayden, in the 4th race, you're driving Living Grand. He'll be 3rd up from a break. You've been on him his past 2 since the spell. Do you feel he's come on?
Yeah, he's a little bit disappointing first up, and probably the fitness there wasn't quite what we thought it was, and I was happy with his last start, and drawing that pole there, he might take some catching to beat.
Well, that was my next question. You've drawn the number 1. Plan at the moment to lead?
Yeah, at the moment it will be, yes. He's got pretty good gate speed, and hopefully we can use that to his advantage, and hopefully we don't get a lot of pressure.
Now, in the feature race of the night, you're driving Dapper, who's been a real revelation since the hobbles came off.
Yeah, he's improved out of sight since he's turned into a free-leg pacer, and it's shown his last couple of starts. He's been consistent ever since, and it's going to be a tough race there. He hasn't drawn the best there, and it's going to be very hard to beat that one horse.
Well, 2 starts ago, you sprint laned, and then I think last time you'd led. You're probably going to have to wait and see what happens on Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that first 100 plays out, and whether or not if we go forward or whether we just try and drop in there and come with 1 run.
And in the final event on the program, Grizzly Montana, trying to make it 2 on the bounce. You led on him at his latest start.
Yeah, he was in with a junior claim for someone else there last start, and he raced really good. That was back to his old self, and his form was a little bit down, and he wasn't finding the line that good, but he proved last week that he's back on song.
Gate number 4, go forward again or other plans?
Yeah, I'll happy to go forward and have a look, and if he finds the front again, he might even take some catching to beat as well.
In the feature race of the night, Ricky Gordon drives Cobbler Lane, who's been very consistent in recent times.
Yeah, no, he's done a marvellous job since coming from New South Wales. He's won, I don't know, 4 or 5 races in a short space of time, tough efforts too, so got a good draw, see how we go.
Well, you've got Speeches Silver, who'll be the testing material on your inside, so would you wait and see what happens, or have you developed a plan already?
Oh, well, you've got to sort of take nothing for granted, and we'll just drive him the way he's been driven and just see where we end up early.
And a little later in the night, Chinook Wins, which you train, I think having 4th start for you since arriving from Victoria?
This will be our 4th start Saturday night. The first 2 runs for us, run 3rd, were very good, and last start was a bit disappointing, but I think it was more my fault during the week with the preparation, but bad draw, she should go all right.
Yeah, you have got a wide draw. Have you any idea of tactics yet, or is it a wait-and-see situation?
Well, I think the draw suits her. I don't know, it's wide. Just the first couple of runs where she's run 3rd, we've just dropped her out and just let her run home. And I think from barrier 6, that's her only option again. The draw really does suit her.
Well, in the feature race on the program, the Rising Star, John Kremen will be driving Got a Moment. John, you've got speed, but there's plenty of speed inside of you as well.
Yeah, plenty of speed there, and we're just going to have to come out and have a look and see if there's a spot there for us, because if you fire him up too much, he stays fired up.
It looks a good race, a good strong race on paper.
It's a great race, and the 1-horse draw, it's the one that we all have to wonder about. I don't know how quick it gets out of the gates, but we're going to find out.
Well, I heard a little piece on radio this morning telling us that it does have gate speed, if needed.
Oh, well, they would say that.
A little later on in the other feature race, the Henry Luca, you're driving Huey Green. You train and drive Huey Green, who did a bit of work at his latest run.
He did a little bit, and it was a quick last half, and I expect him to be improved this week from the run and training on this week. He's had a good week.
We won't ask you to give too much away, but will you be going forward?
We'll have to have a look again just to see. You've got to come out and see what the others are doing for a start. If you go back, you've thrown away your chance of slotting in straight away.
And in the final race on the program, you drive Carinya Mully for Mark Rees. Now, again, the gates are tricky, and not a big field, but you're drawn wide.
Yeah, its best form's over the mile and leading and running quick miles from what I could see, but I would imagine that we would probably be midfield somewhere and trying to come home late.
Well, they're the thoughts of Hayden, of Ricky and of John, their drives at Albion Park on Saturday night. The Rising Star Championship is the feature. Speeches Silver has drawn the one. Will be very hard to beat. I'm not telling you much, but I think is probably the best bet on the program. In the supporting race, the Remembering Henry Luca, I thought Fame Assured and The Bus were two to look at. 9 races on the card, very good program. The first at 5:13, Albion Park, harness racing on Saturday night.